The Diddy trial twist: justice narrowed or delayed. Power, fame, silence. In the world of Sean Diddy Combs, they've always gone hand in hand. But now, in a courtroom packed with reporters, survivors, and decades of secrets, the silence is breaking. Sean Combs, the mogul, the empire builder, the name behind Bad Boy Records, is no longer just a music legend. He's a defendant, accused of crimes that go far beyond celebrity scandal. Crimes involving coercion, control, and exploitation. But just as the courtroom braced for final arguments, prosecutors made a move no one expected. They dropped charges. Yes. On the eve of closing statements, several of the most explosive charges were suddenly dismissed. Kidnapping, arson, aiding sex trafficking. Gone. Now only the two central charges remain. Racketeering, sex trafficking, and the jury. They're about to decide the fate of a man once considered untouchable. The courtroom shift. This wasn't just any trial. It was one of the most closely watched celebrity court battles since Harvey Weinstein. Inside the federal courthouse, day after day, testimony unfolded like a true crime drama. Victims spoke of fear, of being silenced, of being promised fame and receiving pain instead. Prosecutors painted a chilling picture that Combs led a patterned, organized operation using his power, money, and influence to trap women, isolate them, and abuse them under the guise of mentorship or relationships. He was allegedly protected by a web of insiders, drivers, security, handlers, who helped keep it all quiet, helped make the victims disappear, or stay quiet. This wasn't about one night. This was about years, possibly decades. But despite the growing case file, prosecutors made the calculated decision to narrow their focus. Why? Strategy or surrender? Legal experts are calling this a tactical move. Prosecutors often start trials with a wide scope of charges, some strong, some speculative. But when it comes time for jury deliberation, they often strip the case down to the most provable elements. In this case, they believe the racketeering and sex trafficking charges are the strongest, well supported by testimony, digital evidence, and multiple witnesses who corroborated each other's experiences. They're the foundation of the case. And the charges that could put Diddy behind bars for years, possibly life. Still, dropping charges like kidnapping and aiding sex trafficking raises questions. Were the cases too weak? Were the witnesses in danger of cross-examination damage? Or was there political pressure behind the scenes? We may never know. Public perception splits. To the public, the case is already polarizing. Some say Diddy is being railroaded, a target because of his fame. Others say justice is long overdue and the dropped charges are just legal maneuvering. For the victims, those who have come forward, and those who remain anonymous, the dropped charges feel like erasure, like parts of their pain are being trimmed away for convenience. For Combs' legal team, the move was framed as a major win. They claim the prosecution is backing down, admitting its case is full of holes. They insist he's innocent and that the truth will clear him. But innocence in a courtroom isn't always the same as innocence in reality. What's left standing? Let's be clear, the remaining charges are still devastating. Racketeering isn't just about shady business. It implies running a criminal enterprise, knowingly and systematically. If proven, it means Diddy didn't just participate in isolated crimes, he orchestrated them. Sex trafficking, in this context, is about using coercion, deception, or force to exploit individuals for sexual purposes, often across state lines, using others to facilitate it. If convicted on these two charges alone, Diddy could face decades behind bars. The judge has already said jury instructions will be issued within days. Then deliberation begins. And a man once worth hundreds of millions could be facing a lifetime behind cold steel bars. The bigger question in this case is about more than Sean Combs. It's about how long money can protect someone. How many people stay silent when a star rises too high. How fame becomes armor, and whether that armor is finally cracking. For some survivors, this trial is validation. For others, it's too little, too late. What happens next will shape not just the legacy of Sean Combs, but the entire conversation around power, silence, and celebrity justice. Final thoughts. The jury is being prepped. The prosecution has made its final adjustments. The defense is sharpening its final words. And in just days, we'll have a verdict. Will Sean Diddy Combs be held accountable? Or will the silence win again? Here at the Silent Files, we'll be watching, Because this story isn't just about what happens in the courtroom. It's about everything that led up to it, and everything the system chose not to say out loud. Subscribe for updates on this case and more breaking true crime stories, psychological control, and power dynamics. What makes this case especially disturbing isn't just the alleged crimes. It's the way power was allegedly used as a weapon. Prosecutors argue that Diddy wasn't merely involved in criminal acts. He created an environment where fear and loyalty became currency. Survivors describe being emotionally manipulated, isolated from their families, and made to feel dependent on him for career success, financial security, even self-worth. This isn't just control, it's coercive control, the kind that's nearly invisible to outsiders, the kind that silences people for years, even decades. Understanding this dynamic is essential, because if the jury believes that psychological pressure, threats, and control were part of the equation, then even without physical evidence, testimony alone could be powerful enough for a conviction. The legacy on trial. Beyond the courtroom, Diddy's reputation is crumbling. Endorsement deals have been dropped. Longtime collaborators are distancing themselves, even his business ventures. His clothing line, record label ties, and brand partnerships have suffered. Whether convicted or not, the damage is done. This case may redefine how we view legacy in the age of accountability. Can an empire built on art survive a foundation of silence? And how should society remember those who shaped culture if those same individuals destroyed lives behind closed doors? For now, those questions remain open. But one thing is clear: the days of fame shielding truth are numbered. Leave a comment. Do you believe Diddy will be convicted or walk away untouched? This is The Silent Files, where silence speaks louder than words.